But ultimately, you know, what I keep coming back to is that all of this spiritual inquiry, all of the stuff that we do or is done in other places, really pretty much comes back to the deepest ongoing acceptance of what is. It sounds so simple, but it's not. It sounds so simple, but the depth of it is beguiling, and the depth of it kind of tricks us into thinking it's simple. It's not. It's an ongoing relationship. It's an ongoing step-by-step walking through the valley of the unknown, meeting whatever terrain arrives, whether that terrain is beautiful or whether that terrain is terrible. It's our capacity to meet it all with an ever-deepening acceptance, which is the grace of equanimity. It reminds me always when we speak of this, of the, you know, walking through the valley of the shadow of death, but there's no real need to mention the death or the shadow. It's really being able to walk through this land, through this place, with a certain nobility of acceptance, with a certain humility of acceptance, with a certain presence and tenderness, with a certain openness, and sometimes a certain humour, sometimes a great sorrow, but always with the deepest willingness to meet what it is that's arising in the field of our experience. You see how this has nothing to do with the imagination, has nothing to do with philosophy, it has nothing to do with books, it has nothing to do with spiritual ideas of what is and what isn't reality. They're all real good, but they're not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the Krishnamurti, like, I don't mind what happens. I'm talking about the Tagore quote, in order to know God, you must welcome everything. I'm talking about our capacity to meet whatever arises from the unstoried, unnarrated, deeper aspect of ourselves. And this is an ongoing journey, an ongoing unfolding that brings us into dynamic intimacy with the world of experience and our own habitual and human tendencies, the nervous system, the subtle energy body, the innate fears that we carry, the stories that we've learned, the grievous self, the fearful self, the argumentative self, the resistant self. So it's not a palliative for any of those. All of those are doorways. All of those are the very doorways that we have to be willing to walk through, because this is a way of dispensing with any sense of failure or success. It's not to do with that. It's to do with, if fear rises up, then it's the capacity to be intimate and accepting of that also, without narrating it, without storying it, without, trying to avoid it or somehow bypass it or mitigate it or explain it. You see, it's raw. It's a raw meeting. It's an honest meeting. It takes us into the deepest integrity of who we are. It takes us perhaps out of mind, even out of heart, through into the deeper aspects of us. It's raw. We can fake it if that's useful, but I don't see the point in faking anything, really. Who are we trying to fool? Friends? Family? Ourselves? It's strange to imagine that we fool ourselves, right? No. To develop integrity. The integrity to say, well, that hurts me. That brings me, I can't accept that. I don't accept that. I don't have that relationship. But I'm willing to give it. I'm willing to enter that resistance and see why. And ask myself why. Why is it that I can't accept? What is it that I can't accept, and why? Well, it's too much, or there's a story, or there's too much heat in it, or actually on the deepest level I'm frightened of death. I'm terrified of dying in some way. So I hold on to have the insight to see that the trigger or the resistance actually holds a message for us that is really worth looking at, that is worth inquiring into. So that's kind of what I'm saying, is that, I keep returning to this for myself, because I truly believe that walking the path of the deepest acceptance, of the deepest grace and equanimity, is the path to a profound and ongoing healing for the self, but also a profound and ongoing healing for others, or for the world as we meet it. Because if we're truly in love with it on the deepest level, and we don't have an argument with what experience is arising in our consciousness, in our field of perception, then that separation between us and the field of perception dissolves, and all there is the rising up. All there is the arising. All there is a kind of phenomena, and we are it, and it is us. And the separation that we experience dissolves. Just dissolves in a sense. So we're one with the experience, and the experience is one with us. That's where it takes us to eventually. But first we must be willing. First we must be willing to ask ourselves, can we ever more deeply accept?